Now, moving forward with what you got going on, though, Killer, as a businessman, what is that like saying, okay, I got this music down pat, but I need to handle my business, swag shops and all of this stuff going on, man, television shows at the same time with Trigger Warning. What was that like, expounding upon that platform that you already had and turning it into these other vehicles to get money?
Man, Ice Cube, you know, you look at someone like Ice Cube, who's been a tremendous influence. If you listen to my style, you listen to a direct reflection of the school of Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Direct reflection of KRS-One, direct reflection of Paul and G, Scarface, you know. So from a businessman perspective, Ice Cube getting an opportunity to exercise his ability to write. You knew he was a dope storyteller on Boys in the Hood when he wrote that for Easy. You know what I mean? You knew that on Fuck the Police, but getting a chance to see the movies, to see a Friday play out, you know. So Ice Cube showed me it could be done. Then it just for me saying, well, when I get a chance, how do I do it? I've been on MTV Made 4 times. I still communicate with all the kids I did Maze with. They all went on to be successful adults in the endeavors they with. So I took and I take television seriously. So when I got the Trigger Warning, you know, if you look at Yayo from the Crips that help brand the Cripa-Cola. You know, Yayo has Cash Crop Clothing. He's selling out daily. You know, shouts out to Yayo.
Come on.
You know, you look at Blue Sugar, Big Noonie. Noonie's selling desserts. Noonie's slanging desserts around this. Noonie kill you and make the banana pudding for your funeral. You know, so for me, whether it's AC, Murdo, shouts out to them, I'm about the business of business because I have a good-ass job. Like Swift reminds me all the time, you got a great job, but I don't ever want to resent my job again. I don't want to have to do a song I don't want to do. I don't want to have to work with people I don't want to work with. I don't want to have people around me working that I don't really like or respect simply by proxy.
Come on.
So for me, it's just having the businesses are a way to, you know, if a water company will pay me to say, hey, their water's the best, then why can't I bottle my own water and say my water is the best?
Come on.
You know, so I'm from the school of Def Jam. I watched them grow, you know, from just a little small label we cheered for into a mega force. Rockefeller, watched them grow. You know, I rap a lot, Luke Records. So I've always admired a businessman. Like I remember listening to Too Short, not just because he said biatch, but because Short said was the first rap I heard say, Jive gonna have to give me $1 million to sign. Like think of it. I remember, man, at 12 years old, $1 million sounded like a lot of money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I just talked to my lawyer like $1 million wasn't shit 15 minutes ago. But I'm just like, if it wasn't for Short, I wouldn't even have context. And then Too Short and people like Eric Sermon moving to Atlanta, setting up businesses. Yeah. Again, I'm no stranger to seeing black people in power. Yeah. I know the story of Alonzo Herman. I know Herman Russell, but it's different when it's the Wu-Tang Clan with a store. Yeah. You know, it's different when you see you see Eric Sermon with a rim shop. Yep. You know, it's different because then it's touchable, it's tangible. Like I know these people. So I want to be that. You know, I want that swag shop. Man, when they called us and told us we want y'all to extend the lease, we keeping y'all. Man, I was happy because the experiment is working. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in 50 Coliseums, not just one. That's what I'm saying. I dream big. Oh, man, we in State Farm Arena. That means a lot. But what if I'm in everyone? You know, what if I get 500 stores? You get what I'm saying? Exactly. That's when I start saying, take the cap off and go bigger. So for me, the business thing it's like I'm excited like when I first learned how to rap. Yeah. Like when Gigi first taught me how to write in bars, I knew I was writing 16s. Now with business, I can say this is my hypothesis, this is my theory, this is how I'm gonna see myself getting to it. And even if some things off, at the end of the day, when you get that call, man, y'all did $50,000 in t-shirts this month. Come on. You know, you just be like, oh. And that ain't no money for a company like Supreme. That ain't no money for a company like the Hundreds. Yeah. But for us, a small little 3-shop operation, that was like, and that's out of 1 shop. So then you say, man, what could I do if I do this out of 10 shops? So that's our next goal. Our next goal is to profile up to 10 shops, then go into some capital venturism and grow into, you know, exponentially more shops in region. When
we talk about businesses and stuff like that, man, I mean, it allows you to speak like a free man. Can you talk about being able to be an entrepreneur and not having to bow down to corporations just to survive? Because right now you got the jab a job going on right now. And a lot of folks are scared to death because they're like, I need my job. But then you got a lot of entrepreneurs out here that's saying, well, I'll give you one.
Yeah, and I tell you this, like you're going to have to negotiate. You
Yeah.
know? So it's like when you sit on the other side of the table, you ask some folk for some money, even as an entrepreneur, they gonna say, well, the money comes with stipulations now, son. You know what I mean? So it's about what do you want to like watch Shark Tank, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I give you $1 million. I want 20% of your company.
Facts.
You know. I want 10% because that 10% stake they get saved.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to start to really say, you know, and you have to have some conversations with yourself. And what am I willing to do at this point? What am I not willing to do? But there is a freedom in doing business. There's a freedom, but it's not easy. Like, you know, my wife says, man, you know, I work damn hard not to work. You know, Jason Jeter got a quote. That's a similar quote. It's up. If y'all follow Jason Jeter, Strivers Row Clothing. But Jason talks about that. Like, we work damn hard not to work. And, you know, you might work 150 hours a week not to work, though.
Facts.
You might work 100 hours. But other people, they 40, they know what they get, and they go home.
Yeah.
You know, I never could. I just didn't have it in me.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge anybody. I just didn't have it in me. You know, I didn't have it in me. So I had to figure something else out.
Learning about finances, banking, Greenwood. Could you get into that for me?
Man, well, I got a call from Andrew Young, former mayor and mentor of mine for the last 31 years.
My God.
He and his son, Bo, who went to Mays, Bo's a Mays guy as well. Their mother, his late wife, Jean, and Bo's mom was this man who Jean Childs Young Middle School is named after. She was a tremendous hero to me. And Jean was just, you know, I married a woman like Jean, just a very strong-willed woman. And when Andy calls me about something, I take it seriously.
Yeah.
So Ryan and Paul sat me down and talked to me about, well, this is what's going on in the world of fintech for black people. This is the platforms that are out there. This is how ours matches those and exceeds those. It just felt like the right thing to do. We're going to get checks and cash checks and pay bills and things of that nature. We shouldn't have to pay 20% of our check to a check cashing place.
Come on.
Any company we're giving money to should funnel money back into our community via NAACP or and United Negro College Fund. We should be getting something, and that's what Greenwood does.
Yeah.
And Greenwood also has stepped up and has gotten into content creation now where they're doing actually online. You can go online, listen to blogs, watch podcasts, and you can get to see the people who are making it as they make it, say these are the lessons we learned. You also should follow people like AKA Anundrum, you know, that are on that, and these people are all on my page. You know, you should follow these type people. If you want to learn about business, you should know who she is. You know, so I think that what we can do as parents and citizens in Atlanta is we can start calling for financial literacy courses in school. The same way we had home economics in school, we used to have business talent centers. There's no way our children don't know how to manage a debt card. You know, there's no reason that we have not shown them, except for we haven't mastered it. So as a community, we have to, I believe, start to set our nose in the direction of getting our financial shit together.
Thanks.
And first and foremost, that's just taking care of simple things like having a bank account, start establishing and building some credit, start trying to buy a piece of land to put under you as soon as you possibly can. And I think if we do that, much like our grandparents did in a very simple way, and stop you, we can't go from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go from I got it, you know, I never had, I'm on my ass, and then all of a sudden you get it, you go spend it all. You have to see yourself as the cornerstone of a foundation. What I'm doing right now is Michael Render, right now in 2021, in 2051, 61 should affect my grandchildren in a way that's positive for them. Well, that's what keeps me from going out and buying some of the dumb shit I really want to buy. I want to buy a demon so bad every morning. Every morning I get up like, man, I got 150 bands. Why not? You know what I'm saying? And just when that happens, a deal I've been looking for will come across. And I really want that demon. Like, I can't even goddamn lie to you. Like, I want that demon so bad. My wife will calls me for a deal. I'm going to ask, you got that Virgin deal? You give me a call with that, you know. But I don't want to waste an opportunity. So, you know, I can say that I have become a stronger individual by fasting, you know, from financial fuck ups that I wanted to make. And I would advise our men especially to involve yourself in some type of trade, because you're gonna get exponentially a higher dollar return for the education you have. And I would say let's try to master our coins so that we can be respected amongst our own, and we can be, you know, the engine that's powering our communities forward.
Being able to have a mentor such as Andrew Young, a former mayor, a man that rode out with Dr. Martin Luther King, what kind of game did he lay down on you, and what is it like being able to talk directly with him?
Andy, my man, though, but Andy, a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Andy ain't no thug. So you gotta have all kind of mentors. You gotta have Andrew Young and you gotta have Fat Steve from Boy Hole. Like both of them my mentors. So Andy is Andy, James Orange, Alice Johnson, Walter Cleveland, Reverend Albert Love, Timothy McDonald. All these people, Young Blood, Skip Mason, all these people saw a willing young man who was willing to learn and absorb what they had learned from the Civil Rights Movement, and they poured into me like a cup. And I'm very blessed. Joseph Lowry, very blessed. Martin King III, Bernice King. So I'm blessed in that I was a willing student and instructors were willing to teach me. And so I can't overstate enough how much gratitude I have for not only Andy, but that whole cast of people. I just name and especially invoke the name of Alice Johnson, who was a white woman from northern Chicago, who happened to believe that the liberty and justice for all part was true. Yeah. And whether it was coal miners in West Virginia and fighting against, brown and black lung, or coming here working in Andy's administration, making sure that working class and poor people had some say in his administration, Alice truly saw the organizer in me and put me with the people who mentored me, and including herself, but she put me with Reverend Orange.
What was some of the best advice that you got from the elders, though? That's different from the advice that you would get from any peer or somebody that's 5 years older than you.
You don't organize for people. You organize with people. So I don't trust politicians that tell me what they're going to do for me. Yeah. I only trust people who say what they're going to do with me. Yeah. I don't trust organizations that will say what they're going to do for me. I trust organizations that's going to say this is what we're going to do with the people that we're organizing for. If you aren't organizing with the people you're organizing for, you aren't organizing.
Being married, what role did your wife play in your career riding with you throughout this whole journey that you've been on?
Man, Shay's my road dog. Like, if you know Mike, you know Shay. Yeah. You know her from driving that white van. You know her from picking up some cash tills. You know her. Usually, if you ask me a business discussion, I'll tell you I gotta holler at Shay about it first. Like if you look at my page, I'm co-owner of the swag shops. So I love my wife, I really do. And she sends me hot pictures of chicks from the internet and goes to the roof flying with me. So I'm a lucky guy.
Before I wrap this thing up, too, just speaking on that man-woman relationship, what are the benefits of having a strong woman on your side, and what do you recommend to any man that's out here that's trying to get it done by themselves that might not even know or understand why that might be beneficial to their life moving forward?
I'm gonna just say, man, teamwork truly makes a dream work. So if you plotting, usually you plotting and maybe doing a little planning by yourself, but when you get to strategizing, you want a team around you. So, yes, sir. I don't care if it's you and that woman and you guys figuring it out, or you and a committee, or if y'all got some playing, you and your women, or whatever. And if you like guys, if it's you and your guy. But what I do know is very few people have done it alone. They say if you want to go somewhere quickly, what's the African proverb? If you want to go somewhere quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, with folks. With folks, you go in a group. So I can say that truly, the wife that I have and the women in my life, whether it is sisters or aunts or daughters, the mothers of my children and their moms, I have gotten wise counsel from black women. And I'd like to just interject that because there's a mythology running around now that somehow our community suffers from the same type of patriarchy that's going on in the big house. And I just like to say, man, Baldwin has said, and I've heard Nikki Giovanni say, and others that, we were brought here as black men. You were, if not castrated physically, you were spiritually and mentally, you were, that's not the leader of your house. Yeah. The leader of the house stay in the big house. You have value because you can have children, and he gonna pick that cotton. And then if you look further and you look at what the welfare state did to separate the family, but what I have always seen in my family is men and women that were married or together, tightly joined, and making decisions in council. So I try to operate as my grandparents did. If you ask my grandfather's son, he's gonna say, well, I'm gonna go talk to Betty about that. Yeah. You didn't just get a yes or a no. Thanks. So I follow that example. And I just like to say, my brothers, however you rocking, even you and when it was time for my daughter Michael to go to school, me, her biological mother, my wife who's a non-bio mother, her non-bio father. All of us got together to talk.
Yeah.
Like, hey, where do we want her to go to school? Because this my child. Of course, I love my child.
Yeah.
But these other people love my child too. So even decisions that are made about my children are made in counsel with my wife and the mothers. You know, so for me, I just say if you want to end whatever they call generational curses, whatever the catchphrase is, if you want to end chaos in your life, then y'all gonna have to sit down at some point and figure out a structure that works for y'all. And whatever that structure is, let that structure work for y'all. Be quiet and private about it, and just make sure you're producing successful children.